Fossen, and I'm the founder of the Junkie brand and the Body, Mind, Soul Studio. I am a yoga teacher and an in-person retreat leader. However, COVID made that portion of my business take a nap or an extended break. And I've been teaching yoga primarily online for the past 3 to 4 years through YouTube as my content platform, and I've focused on courses, and now my main energy goes towards an online yoga studio where we share a holistic yoga practice, body, mind, and soul, to help people practice on their mat, but more importantly, take it off their mat and apply it to their daily life so that they feel empowered, confident, complete, and whole. Before working with Jadah, I was a squirrel at the rave, I told her. I was chasing around different ideas that I was downloading from other entrepreneurs and people in the digital space that they were presenting. Great ideas. However, it was sending me in a whirlwind of chasing ideas and not having a clear strategy, and simultaneously, of course, burning myself out and my small but incredible team. And I was really tired when I met Jadah. I had been running this online yoga studio for 2 years, but prior to that, I had been selling online yoga programs for 2 years. So we're now at the 4-year mark. And I felt very lost, very scattered, very frenetic and frantic. And I was just chasing with no true vision or embodiment of that founder mentality. And I also, at that point in time, felt like I wanted to blow up my business too. I was ready to quit. This was right after building a custom app and heavily investing in it for our studio. And still I was done. I had really hit rock bottom. And I knew something really different had to happen for myself and the business if I was going to continue onward and make this my life's work. Before working with Jadah, I was in this mentality that I could figure it out on my own. And originally, my entrance into the online space was one business course. And I really felt like, okay, with this one business course that I did 4 years ago, and then piecemealing together everyone's free podcasts and webinars, et cetera, content, I can navigate this on my own. And so I really went at it with that mentality for many, many years. And I watched a lot of my peers pass by me, and I want to assume that they invested in either more courses or mentorship and coaching, whereas I stayed very stagnant and stuck and really in this state of self-doubt and not knowing how to steer my business with integrity, again, with that simplicity and clarity. So I was scared shitless, I'd now been in this mentality for 3 years that I could do it on my own. I didn't need to invest. And I was also really afraid of the monetary investment. That felt huge. So getting over that thought that I wasn't worth it, my business wasn't worth it, that I wouldn't be able to make that money back and receive a return on my investment. There was a lot going on there. So many hesitations. And also when I found Jadah through another person's podcast, she was on there for an interview. I had no idea who this woman was. I had never seen her in the space that I was circling within. And I loved her so much, her soft-spoken yet very clear way of guiding you. And so then I started subscribing to her podcast. And then I went to her page to learn more about her coaching services. And I was circling around that coaching page and hovering over the application for probably 6 or 7 months. And in that time span, her rates increased greatly. So I was kind of kicking myself in the butt for not following that initial gut intuition of work with this woman. However, right, that was a lesson in and of itself. I had to learn too. And so eventually I was like, okay, I'm here. I'm applying. Let's do this. But there was many years of hesitation. And then even once I stumbled upon Jadah, I went through like a 6-month period of just stalking her site and her podcast until I felt ready to say yes. I'll try and be as succinct as possible. Number one, she steered me to sign on. She helped me spend more money, which is interesting. She steered me to sign up and call in people that I needed to really up-level my business. For example, I hired a brand strategist. I've never done any type of brand strategy. It's really been myself, again, being on that like solopreneur journey. I can do it all mentality. So worked with a brand strategist. I've now hired a web designer and developer to completely rebrand the business. So that was big because those were other things I knew I wanted to do, but I felt too afraid to pull the trigger and make that decision and move forward. So she helped me really like go through the different options and different contractors and make a wise decision there. So that is still unfolding as I'm speaking to you now and as her and I are wrapping up our work together. The other key thing is every time I would launch, whether it was a program or the studio, and right now I only launched the online studio, it's a closed door model, I was making up a new free challenge every single time we launched. And it was so exhausting. And I was under this belief that people wouldn't sign back up for the same challenge. And she really helped me debunk that as a myth, design the challenge that we plan to keep for many, many years, and rinse and recycle and repeat and fine tune it so we can get better and better at it as a team. And I know just in communicating that to my team, it was a huge sigh of relief. Like, we don't have to redesign an opt-in page and rewrite all the copy and take new photos and film all the yoga classes and create a new workbook. So getting into that mentality was huge. Yes, I had to design the final challenge that we're going to keep, but knowing that when we launch again in just a few months, we're repurposing and recycling is already so grounding. And we can focus on way different stuff as a team to amplify and up-level our next launch. So that's really exciting. Really, really exciting. The other piece that she helped me navigate was changing my content strategy. So on YouTube, I've been 100% giving away free how-to yoga YouTube, which is for yoga classes. And we are repositioning me more as an expert and authority. And so I'm now doing face-to-face YouTube videos where I'm explaining yoga and not giving you my product. So that was another big shift that I had to move through, and she coached me through, and we hired a video editor to help me. So content strategy has been completely transformed, and now that is completely rolling. And I would say the other huge thing is team. So when I met Jadah, I was burning my team out. I was barely doing consistent reviews with them. We didn't have many systems or systems in place that created that solid foundation of structure. And she really guided me to have difficult conversations with my team and also to bring that structure to our experience. And of course, human beings thrive within structure. So I've seen a marked difference in how we operate and also their enjoyment and fulfillment in doing the work that we're doing together. So we do quarterly reviews, we do quarterly planning, we set quarterly goals, and we keep it simple. We have 3, maybe 4 at max. And we also set personal and professional goals together and really hold ourselves accountable. So it feels like a family that's growing together, both internally and externally for our customers. And I would say the last piece, which feels the most important, is her helping me step into this founder role and like really embodying that role. Whereas before, I wasn't claiming CEO, I wasn't claiming founder. I was, like a blogger or a YouTuber or a yoga teacher, all great hats to be wearing, except I wasn't claiming the most important role of being a leader. And so since working with her, she really helped me embody it, claim it, and integrate and implement it. So that's been huge. And my team has mirrored that back to me, as well as knowing that because I'm the founder, I'm allowed to choose how we steer the ship. I can rest. I can work as much or as little as I want to.
Yeah.
That was also mirrored back to me from my best friends who's seen me go through this entrepreneurial journey. I was just with her recently, and she said, "You are so calm, and I am so surprised that you don't have your laptop glued to your hip during this beach staycation, because you're usually always doing something and your focus is always fractured. Like you're here, but you're not here." And so, yeah, that has also been a huge change that is rippling out into my personal life. And it's all intertwined when you're working for yourself, your personal and your professional life. So when one's doing well, the other one does well, and there's a feedback loop created. I could go on with other results. However, I think that really covers a lot of what we did together. I do want to share one more. The last one is I'm really wanting to lean into being a coach for yoga teachers from a business capacity and helping mentor them. And that was also really helpful for her to guide me in creating what would that coaching approach look like? How would I begin this new leg or arm of the business? And really giving me permission to experiment and know that it's okay to try something and test it and then say, that's not for me, and not be so attached to, I'm doing this and now I have to do it. So she's really helped me see, like, this is something I want to do. It's a heart project. Let my other projects fund the heart project and have fun experimenting with something that feels like soulful work, instead of coming at it with this like very regimented, grippy, need. So that has been huge, and that, will definitely unfold in the coming year. So that's exciting to know that even though Jadah and I are putting a pin in working together because I'm pregnant, going on maternity leave soon, I already have like all of 22 mapped from working with her. So my whole next year pretty much laid out for me. And that just feels like I'm held. Like, oh, I know what I'm doing. Not a squirrel at the rave. I'm listening to soft mantra music, not techno music. So those are some of the key pillars that she's helped me establish and transform within the business. I remember meeting with her for the first time, and she's like, I don't do video, we do audio, because I like to take notes as we speak during the coaching calls, and it's less distracting for me. And I was like, that's so strange. I want to see your face. I want to feel like we're connecting. And then as we got in our groove and our pattern, I actually really appreciated it, because it was one less thing that I had to feel like I needed to be on for, and I could be fully present and available and truthful with whatever we were speaking about. Undoubtedly, emotions arise. There's resistance sometimes, even between her and I, when she's challenging me to see something from a different perspective. And so not being able to stare at each other took a whole layer of awkwardness and expectation off the table. And I actually really appreciate her style of coaching in that way. The other thing I really appreciated about Jadah is her tagline, which is love over metrics, and really holding the container for me to not, again, be so grippy around what happens in this one specific year, but more so expanding out and having a macro vision of my life's work, and really being okay to trust the process and enjoy the process. And whereas before I felt very, in yoga, we have this tenet called a parigraha, which is non-hoarding or non-attachment, non-clinginess. So I was doing the opposite of that. And I was going against that tenet for so many years. And she really brought her wisdom and her patience and her loving kindness to the table. And that just permeated, right? It permeated, and it continues to permeate. And I know it will continue to permeate since working with her. So I can bring that into my business world. Women or female identifying entrepreneurs who already have the tools and tactics, and now they really need the soulful strategy and support. Like, you're up to here, you know, up to your eyeballs with all the ideas coming in from every podcast or webinar that you're listening to or watching. And now you need someone to help you simplify, clarify, and really create that vision for where you want to go. And I also would say anyone who is over, like, if you're someone like me who really leans into that masculine energy, I purposely chose Jadah because she's the opposite of me. She's so feminine. You can like hear her tenderness in her voice, in the inflection and the tone of her voice. And it actually makes me quite uncomfortable. It's not my nature. And it's something that I'm wanting to call in and cultivate as a woman, and also as a business owner and a leader. And so if you're someone like me who struggles with that femininity and relaxing and resting and really holding yourself in that more nurturing caretaker way, I'm going to say go towards her, because she's the opposite. And, you know, we're always in a conundrum of polarities, and we're wanting to find the balance or the equanimity between them. So if you're going on that fiery tangent of masculinity, definitely consider working with someone like Jadah, who's going to help you balance that energy and really ground it back into receptivity. And when you do that, it creates space for more of your vision to come to life. At least that's what I experienced.